Right now, as you close your eyes to find peace, a silent drifting apart is unfolding in the endless dark far above us. The fabric between shimmering nebulas, ancient suns, and quiet planets is gently stretching at an unfathomable speed. It is a mysterious current we cannot fully name, yet it acts as the invisible guide of all existence. Those glowing continents we watch in the night sky are slowly breaking away from one another across a dark ocean, growing a little more solitary with every passing second. On this calm journey, we will drift toward deep, silent abysses with insurmountable borders, where even light loses its way. In this mesmerizing solitude of space, we will dream together of why we hear no other whispers from the stars, and what awaits us at the final, tranquil destination of time. Now, take a deep breath and surrender yourself to this slow lullaby of the universe. If wandering along these tranquil shores of eternity cleanses your mind from the chaos of the day, you may join us and like this peaceful moment. Your companionship makes us feel that we are not alone in this boundless sea. Now take a slow and deep breath. We are gliding into the unknown. Picture it in your mind, the cool breeze on your face, a raindrop falling to the earth, the very first ray of light filtering into your room in the morning. They all took shape through the perfect harmony of invisible particles coming together, the warmth in your palms, ancient trees taking root in the soil, misty mountain peaks. We call this order that our eyes can see reality. Yet the long quests that illuminate the darkness whisper that the truth hides a much more astonishing secret. Everything we know, see, and feel occupies less than 1% of the universe. The rest is a massive desolation beyond comprehension. Imagine compressing all those shining giants, planets, and nebulas in the sky into your palm, turning them into a single grain of sand. This tiny speck wouldn't even touch a billionth of that endless void. That deep breath gently filling your chest right now. Even that single breath carries more particles than kilometers of space in the deep cosmos. Compared to that grand silence, we are falling asleep in one of the densest, most crowded corners of the universe. Yet this infinite darkness is not without order. Light flows through the fabric of space like delicate, shimmering rivers. We are arranged like luminous sand dunes shaped by the wind in a vast night-draped desert. While we cling to these bridges of light, unfathomable, silent dark valleys stretch above and below us. These colossal valleys, the true rulers of the universe, are not merely passive emptiness. They are awake, breathing silently, and gently expanding space to push everything apart. This fragile line of existence we cling to rests in the shadow of eternal tranquility. Our clusters of light try to stay together on the shores of darkness, just like paper lanterns drifting on a misty lake. Yet, that vast silence surrounding them gently expands with our every breath. It is as if an invisible wind ripples the surface, tenderly pushing the lanterns apart. This parting is so serene and slow, our minds do not even feel the change. Looking at the big picture of the universe, we watch the light softly surrendering to that deep cosmic sleep. Fortunately, we are falling asleep at the very beginning of this long night, in that unique era where the lights continue to glow and the lanterns still greet one another. Even from afar, when the grand map of the sky was laid out before us, we realized that the most magnificent things in space were not the star clusters. The true majesty lay in the nameless, bottomless abysses stretching gently between them. When the secrets of the cosmos were unveiled, we saw that galaxies were not simply scattered into the dark. Like luminous coral reefs in a midnight ocean, they gracefully embraced massive, desolate, dark waters. Even imagining the sheer size of these silent seas is enough to tire the mind. If a gliding beam of light set out from the shore of one of these chasms, colossal mountains on our planet would crumble into sand over time, oceans would run dry, yet that light wouldn't have even completed half of its journey. These dark realms are not simple gaps. They are those deep, endless valleys that separate the fabric of space, never to reunite. Our luminous home is a warm and crowded sanctuary where stars stand shoulder to shoulder. Yet when you cross the borders of this haven and drift into those deep abysses, the scenery softly grows desolate. In these colossal shadows, vast enough to swallow millions of islands, only a few stray, lost lanterns burn. Long ago, those who listened to the silence of the sky discovered an impossible void in the heart of the darkness. An entire realm that should have been overflowing with light had been quietly swept away, leaving behind an insurmountable nothingness. If our own world had blossomed right in the middle of this immense silence, we would have believed for ages that we were the sole wanderers of the universe. Whenever we turned our eyes to the night, we would touch nothing but our own tranquil solitude. This staggering emptiness is so deep that even the flow of time as we know it feels too short to have crafted such a desolation. As matter slowly clumped together after the Big Bang, it left vast voids behind. Yet for an area as colossal as the Bhuta's void to be completely cleared out, a period much longer than the age of the universe is required. Despite this, that immense desolation stands there, cold and inexplicable. Some theorists suggest that this supervoid was formed by the gradual merging of smaller voids. Just as water drops on a tranquil lake gently merge and expand, this nothingness also unites and grows. Moreover, these voids do not just sit there, they are constantly expanding. Simulations show that while matter collapses into dense threads under the influence of gravity, the voids softly open up during this process. However, observations whisper that these voids are growing much faster than simulations predict. A mysterious force is feeding these dark realms from within, pushing their boundaries outward and slowly driving matter apart. This massive void is not a simple anomaly. It is the very future of the universe. The hidden wind shaping this future belongs to a source far more powerful than gravity. The question of why voids expand faster than simulations predict slowly draws us into the deepest mystery of modern physics. In 1998, two different teams of astronomers listening to the whispers of the sky measured the expansion rate of the universe by observing star explosions in distant galaxies. Their expectations were quite simple. The Big Bang had flung everything outward, but gravity was supposed to gently calm this separation over time. Just as a wave washing ashore softly loses its power and comes to rest on the beach, the universe was expected to settle and slow down. Yet the data from deep space told a completely different truth. The universe was not slowing down. Rather, it was endlessly accelerating. Distant galaxies were being swept away with much greater momentum, just like autumn leaves caught in the wind. This silent awakening changed everything we knew and brought a Nobel Prize to those who discovered it. To explain this flight, there had to be a mysterious force competing with gravity and overcoming it. Scientists named this force dark energy. However, one should not be deceived by this name, for we still do not know what lies at its heart. We can only see what it does to space. It gently pushes the void, swelling the waters of the cosmic ocean and sending galaxies off on an endless silent journey. The even more fascinating part is that dark energy behaves as an inherent feature of the very fabric of space. When normal matter is scattered into an expanding volume, it becomes diluted. Its density softly decreases. Yet, dark energy never thins out. As space stretches, more dark energy awakens with every void that opens. More space means a stronger pushing force. This is an endless, silent lullaby that feeds itself. We can imagine this condition as night flowers blooming in a boundless forest. Galaxies are those rare flowers, and the dark soil between them is constantly expanding. Yet with dark energy, the situation is much more profound. It is as if the hidden wind expanding the soil blows even fiercer as the flowers move further apart. Currently, this mysterious energy makes up about 70% of the total mass and energy in the universe. This force, which we cannot see or touch but breathe in its presence every moment, alone draws the future of the cosmos. In deep space, a solemn cosmic game of balance is played between gravity and dark energy. Gravity affectionately tries to hold matter together. It binds atoms, planets, and galaxies to one another in a warm haven. Dark energy, on the other hand, invites everything into that endless, tranquil solitude. In luminous and dense regions like our own solar system or galaxy, gravity still keeps its strong embrace open. Matter is so loyal to itself that the expanding power seeping between them is not enough to tear them apart. That is why the Earth continues its calm journey around the sun, and your atoms peacefully stay together. In our own little harbor, we are currently under a tender protection. However, in those colossal voids stretching between galaxy clusters, matter is so sparse and silent that gravity loses its power. There, sovereignty belongs to dark energy. In these desolate valleys, space expands without meeting any resistance. And since the vast majority of the universe consists only of these deep voids, the silent victor of this cosmic dance becomes dark energy. The deeper the void between becomes, the more the gently pushing power of dark energy grows. The outcome of this silent parting is as profound as a fog settling into the night. Dark energy does not erase matter. It simply slowly destroys the possibility of reuniting. That beautiful sense of closeness. One day, every galaxy will turn into a desolate and still harbor, surrounded by an insurmountable darkness. The pace of this solitude increases with our every breath. Those distant lights we see on the horizon will be moving away from us much faster tomorrow. So much so that distant galaxy clusters are drifting away as if gliding into eternity, with steps approaching the speed of light. And when that grand moment arrives, the expansion rate of the universe will quietly surpass even the speed of light. That is the time our cosmic loneliness will fall into its deep and endless sleep. While the observable universe softly crumbles, we stand beneath stars that have not yet lost their glow and watch the approaching grand and tranquil night. The universe as we know it has an absolute speed limit. No star, planet, or whisper can exceed the speed of light. Yet, there is a mesmerizing exception to this rule: space itself. While objects are bound by this limit, The fabric of space can stretch and expand much faster than light, completely untethered by any rule. And right now, far above our heads, this is exactly what is being done in silence. Picture a faraway galaxy in your mind. Because of the endless deep breath of space, this galaxy is softly drifting away from us. As the Hubble Space Telescope has whispered to us for decades, the farther a galaxy is, the faster it glides into the dark. As the distance grows, the stretching fabric of space between us multiplies, and eventually, a boundary is reached where the speed of separation silently surpasses the speed of light. We call this insurmountable boundary the cosmic event horizon. When a galaxy crosses beyond this horizon, all our ties with it sink into an eternal silence. The light setting out from there still glides to reach us, traveling at hundreds of thousands of kilometers per second. However, the space between us stretches much faster than that light can glide. We can liken this to a lone wave trying to reach the beach against a strong ocean current, rapidly pulling away from the shore. If the current is faster than the wave, no matter how hard that wave tries, it can never touch the sand. It is softly swept out into the vastness. Such is the journey of the photons setting out from galaxies that have crossed the cosmic event horizon. That light is suspended within eternity. It travels for billions of years to reach us, but because that deep abyss constantly grows, it can never arrive at our world. From our window, that galaxy has quietly faded away, yet it is still there. It is still giving birth to new stars, perhaps hosting its own tranquil lives. Those distant realms might even sing the most magnificent songs of light in the universe to make themselves heard, transforming the energy of all their stars into a single whisper. But we can never hear this song. No memory of them can cross the expanding sea of space and wash upon our shores. Right now, this cosmic event horizon stands like a silent curtain, roughly 16 billion light years away from us. Yet this curtain is not static. As dark energy stretches space, this boundary gently closes in on us. The galaxies we greet in the sky today will fall asleep behind this veil in the future. So our observable universe is slowly fading. Like a dimming dream just before waking up, the universe may be expanding boundlessly, but the luminous realm we can touch, feel, and see is softly shrinking, just like a dying candlelight. This is like gently gliding along the edges of a massive black hole. The only difference is that we are not being pulled into the darkness, but are softly drifting away from it. Once you cross the event horizon of a black hole, you cannot return. But at the cosmic event horizon, no light from the outside can ever reach inside, into our tranquil home. We are resting in a calm haven where everything around us is silently moving away, becoming more withdrawn into itself over time. And the most profound aspect of this deep reality is that this silent parting continues even now, as we listen to these words and fall asleep. With our every breath, another massive piece of the universe slips into the inaccessible slumber behind that endless dark. It is one of the universe's most melancholic poems that the magnificent scenery our eyes present to us is actually a graceful memory from the past. When you gaze at the night sky and lose yourself in countless stars and galaxies, you are not watching the present, but an ancient, silent history. Light needs time to glide through the vacuum of space. When you look at a galaxy a billion light years away, you see it as it was a billion years ago. The further you look, the further back in time you travel. This gently awakens an innocent feeling within us. If we wait long enough, the light from the farthest corners of the universe will reach us, and we will witness everything. Unfortunately, this vast realm does not work that way. Those faint beams of light we capture with our telescopes right now are merely echoes of time. The current states and physical forms of those galaxies have long since blended into that great secret beyond the event horizon. We are only watching the fading last whispers they left behind in space. Light may be gliding toward us at a speed of 300,000 kilometers per second. However, the path itself, the stretching fabric of space, expands much faster than the flight of light. We can liken this to a lone traveler trying to walk on a bridge that stretches into eternity. If the bridge elongates faster than the traveler's steps, no matter how hard they try, they can never reach the opposite shore. Such is the fate of light. Those photons will travel silently toward us for billions of years. Yet because the distance is constantly widening, they will never touch our world. They will remain suspended in the void forever, fading away in the dark like whispers gently scattering in the wind. Astronomers whisper that we have already lost the possibility of ever touching about 80% of the galaxies we watch in the sky today. These distant islands may still continue to shine brightly, for the light that set out from ancient times still touches our eyes. Yet, this is merely a graceful dream of the past. Even if we were to glide toward them right now at the speed of light, we could never catch up. A friendly radio signal we might hopefully send into that dark would softly melt away in this boundless distance, never reaching any shore. This is the first step of the great interstellar silence. The universe we can touch is diminishing with every breath, just like snowflakes gently scattering in the wind. You can liken this to a grand forest shedding its leaves one by one, to the soil in autumn. But here, what is falling are not leaves, but the light itself. All that remains are our own small, warm branches. This silent drifting apart is a mutual farewell. For possible civilizations breathing in those distant galaxies, we too are softly fading from the sky. If an astronomer right on the edge of the event horizon is watching the night right now and turns their eyes to the Milky Way, they will never see our home. The light radiating from our galaxy will fall asleep in the deep lullaby of expanding space before reaching them. Perhaps they release their brightest hopes into space just to make their presence felt. But that gentle whisper dissolved into silence within the colossal void between us. Reuniting is now only a dream. As star cities slowly fade from each other's horizons, this tranquil parting becomes the deepest melancholy of the universe. Right now, we are the peaceful witnesses of that fortunate golden age, where the sky still looks so rich and so radiant. Those who open their eyes long after us will awaken to a solitude that is much more deserted, much quieter, and draped in shadows. The universe is softly drawing its vast dark blanket over us. Against this ceaselessly flowing river of cosmic expansion, there is only one sanctuary that resists: gravity. While the rest of space falls into that deep sleep, this little cluster of light we call the local group holds together through the affectionate embrace of gravity. The Milky Way, Andromeda, the Triangulum Galaxy, and their accompanying tiny dwarf galaxies glide in a slow, harmonious rhythm around a common center. We are safe for now, on a peaceful raft that does not drift away in the middle of a massive expanding sea. Yet when you look just beyond the borders of the local group, the story softly turns solitary. Even colossal majesties like the Virgo supercluster are slowly breaking apart in the face of cosmic expansion's silent power. In distant realms, gravity bows down to dark energy. In about 100 billion years, every single galaxy outside the local group will have migrated into that invisible realm beyond the cosmic event horizon. They will continue to shine in the dark, but their gentle light will never reach us. When our descendants from far beyond time look at the sky, they will know the universe only as a single, tranquil home surrounded by an endless void. This is an irreversible seclusion. No journey can ever break this silence, because the fabric of space stretches even faster than light. That colossal dark sea can never be crossed. Our own luminous island will also softly change shape with the flow of time. In about 4 billion years, the Milky Way and Andromeda will complete their grand, silent journey toward each other. Gravity will tenderly bring them together, and after a slow embrace lasting for billions of years, they will transform into a single, massive super-galaxy. Astronomers have already given a beautiful name to this new, radiant home, Milkomeda. Imagine an intelligent wanderer opening their eyes in a peaceful corner of this colossal supergalaxy in that far future. When they look up at the sky, they will only see the shimmering trillions of stars of their own home, no matter how deep they turn their telescopes. Beyond will be nothing but endless tranquility. No neighboring galaxies, no distant quasars, nor the delicate fabric of the cosmic web. Where the galaxy ends, a seamless, smooth velvet blanket stretching into eternity will begin. When the lonely astronomers of the future try to read the history of the universe, they will fall into an extremely innocent and melancholic illusion, because all traces of the past will have been softly erased from the universe's memory. The cosmic microwave background radiation, left over from the Big Bang and echoing in every corner of space, will fade until not even its whisper can be heard. The redshift effect, which whispers the silent departure of galaxies, will also vanish into secrecy, for there will be no galaxies left on the horizon to wave goodbye. The scientists of that era will carefully gather the last data from the stars, build flawless mathematical models, and arrive at this tranquil acceptance. The universe was always this quiet, eternal, and consisted solely of our galaxy. It has no beginning or end. We are completely alone in the heart of this vast and peaceful darkness. This innocent acceptance by those lonely astronomers of the future will align so perfectly with the view they see that the true reality will be covered forever. They will never know that the universe was born from a hot and dense Big Bang, nor the vast expansion it left behind, because the universe has a nature that scatters its own memories into the wind. This slow expansion not only leaves stars longing for one another, but also softly washes away the footprints of time from the sands. We are falling asleep in that mesmerizing golden balance of cosmic history. We are at that unique stop where the universe is neither breathlessly hot nor solitarily cold. We can listen to the tale of the past and sense the tranquil darkness of the future. We are perhaps the last fortunate souls who can read this vast truth. When we turn our eyes to the night, what whispers do we hope to hear? Perhaps luminous ships gliding gracefully through the dark, or shimmering webs woven from the energy of stars. The flawless language of mathematics whispers that there should be other passengers in this boundless sea. Yet the only thing we hear is a deep, solemn, and endless serenity. There are no lives gathering light from the stars. There are no radio signals echoing beyond the horizon. The universe is like a calm winter forest where we only hear our own breath. This peaceful desolation gives birth to one of science's deepest questions, the Fermi paradox. In 1950, physicist Enrico Fermi looked up at the sky and asked that simple but profoundly echoing question: where is everybody? This question is as deep as the night itself, because mathematics suggests that life should bloom frequently across the sky. There are billions of sleeping stars just in our galaxy, and trillions of galaxies in the observable universe. While the universe is a grand old tree at 13.8 billion years old, the Earth is merely a young sapling of 4.5 billion years. This means that there should have been countless lives that were born, grew, and spread among the stars, lulled by the lullaby of the cosmos. Long before us, even with slow vessels far below the speed of light, civilizations could have wandered across the entire galaxy in a time as short as a cosmic dream. Millions of years are but a moment of silence in the ancient memory of the universe. If someone were out there, they should have knocked on our door long ago. The most melancholic thought explaining this profound silence is the Great Filter. This invisible barrier is a wall standing on the path to becoming a star-ruling civilization, nearly impossible to scale. The real question is, where do we stand in relation to this wall? If the Great Filter is behind us, it is peaceful news. Perhaps the transition from lifeless particles to a living cell is as rare as a single oasis blooming in a boundless desert. Perhaps the awakening of an intelligent mind is a lone diamond among trillions of grains of sand. If so, we are the rare voyagers who have successfully passed this silent test of the universe. But what if the Great Filter still lies ahead? This possibility is as chilling as a cold night breeze. It implies that voices from other worlds fell silent the very moment they touched technology. Perhaps every mind, upon reaching a certain maturity, loses itself in the storms it creates with its own hands. Invisible plagues, uncontrollable artificial intelligence, or depleted resources. Perhaps the line between reaching the light and sinking into darkness is but a few centuries' breeze. The universe may be filled with the memories of silent echoes that faded before they could wake. If this great obstacle has not yet been surpassed, it means we too are slowly gliding toward that same tranquil end. We whisper messages to eternity through the silver messengers of Voyager and listen to the depths of the sky with massive telescopes. Yet the only response we receive is the distant and vague hum of the cosmic wind. This profound silence is perhaps a universal and tranquil way of saying, those before you are gone, or you are next. In this desolation, we might actually be watching the faint reflection of our own future. Perhaps the true reason for our solitude is not biological, but entirely temporal. When searching for alien life, we always ask, where are they? Yet the true mystery lies in the question, when are they? The 13.8 billion year epoch of the universe is a river of time so deep that the human mind cannot grasp it. Our existence as a technological civilization is merely a single snowflake flashing for a moment in this eternal flow. We have been using radio waves for less than a century. In the cosmic calendar, this is not even a single blink within an eternal sleep. This gives birth to a problem of temporal overlap. For two different lives to touch one another, it is not enough for them to just be in the same galaxy, the same Milky Way. They must have awakened in the same window of time, within the same technological dream. Mathematical probabilities silently whisper how difficult this encounter is. For a civilization to rise and then softly fade away is but a momentary spark in the age of the universe. Imagine that 100 million years before us, magnificent cities were built beyond our galaxy. They carried art and wisdom to their peak, perhaps solving the secrets of existence. Yet while we were just discovering fire with our ancient ancestors seeking shelter in the moonlight, their sun had already burned out. They were here, but we were not yet born. Or 100 million years from now, when the lands we walk upon today become unrecognizable, another species will flourish. They will be here, but we will be gone. We tread the same ground, yet time separates us with insurmountable walls. We are like travelers passing along the same path in different seasons, never to see one another. That is why our radio telescopes scanning the sky today may not be listening to the living, but to the final notes of a long-finished song echoing through space. Although radio waves glide at the speed of light, they are like a slow and heavy heartbeat against the vastness of the Milky Way. It takes 100,000 years to travel from one shore to the other. A whisper reaching our telescopes today might have set out 50,000 years ago, long before we even knew how to plant seeds in the earth. Those who sent that voice may have fallen into an eternal sleep by the time the message reaches us. For a reply to arrive, there would take another 50,000 years. This long wait is not a conversation, but listening to the memories of the stars, to that ancient past. Electromagnetic signals do not endure forever. Space is not a perfect path that carries every sound. Like thin smoke dissipating in the wind, these signals weaken and fade as the distance grows. After a certain point, it becomes impossible to distinguish a deliberate whisper from the natural hum of the universe, the cosmic noise. No matter how loudly a civilization calls out, its cry eventually dissolves in this massive sea of silence. Perhaps our galaxy is filled with countless voices right now, yet each is trapped within that small, transparent bubble of solitude around its own star. The universe has set an insurmountable limit, not only to the gliding of light, but to hope itself. This limit is a silent curtain, separating us from our cosmic neighbors. Yet there may be another reason for the silence besides distance. Perhaps this desolation is an art of survival. This concept, known as the dark forest theory, likens the universe to a mist-covered valley where a watcher hides behind every shadow. Every soul breathing in this valley tries to sense the location of others while remaining perfectly quiet. For in this realm, whispering one's presence is an invitation to an uncertain danger. A civilization that reveals its location could be softly silenced by a more powerful neighbor that feels threatened. Perhaps the sky's full of life, yet all have taken refuge in the safety of this grand silence. We, on the other hand, are like travelers unaware of the danger, lighting a lantern against the storm in this deep valley and calling out, "We are here." We send maps whispering our location with our Voyager messengers and leave inviting messages in the sky. If this theory is correct, what we do is not an act of courage, but a melancholic mistake that prepares the end of our species. But there is a possibility more tranquil than fear. Perhaps there is no one hiding in this vast valley. Perhaps we are the first children of the universe to awaken. Although the universe is billions of years old, the formation of that delicate balance required for life may have needed a very long preparation phase. The first stars consisted only of hydrogen and helium. The building blocks of life, like carbon, oxygen, and iron, did not yet exist. For these elements to accumulate, generations of stars had to glow and fade, scattering their dust into the void. Perhaps we emerged at that first dawn when this chemical richness matured. If this is the case, there are no ancient guides, fallen empires, or mysterious ruins out there to show us the way. There is only us. That infinite void we look at today is the first sentence of a massive book that is just beginning to be written. And we are the ones composing that sentence. Those who awaken billions of years from now will remember us as the ancient ones, provided we can survive long enough to leave a trace. As you slowly close your eyes now, feel yourself becoming a part of this vast silence. Perhaps the greatest secret of the universe is simply that we are here, in this very moment, while the lights in the sky softly drift apart and dark energy gently stretches the void. We are the most resilient lighthouse shimmering in this massive darkness. Do not let this deep silence frighten you. It is the silence of epics yet unwritten, of dreams waiting to be discovered. We are legacies woven from stardust, the only awake eye through which the universe beholds its own majesty. Now, surrender your mind to the arms of this cosmic lullaby. Until we meet at the grand dawn beyond the stars, yield to the tenderness of the dark. Good night.